I woke up to my oldest daughter's screams echoing through the house like a nightmare I couldn't shake. Rushing into her room, I found her on the floor, cradling the shredded remains of her dream wedding dress. 6 months of hand-sewn crystals, lace, and love, now just confetti of betrayal. And there, in the next room, my 9-year-old angel Malia sat with scissors still clutched in her tiny fists. "I don't want her to get married," she whispered, eyes wide with a fear that chilled me to the bone. What she told me next? It wasn't jealousy, it was the secret that shattered everything, and unleashed a revenge so sweet it set us all free. If you've ever felt that gut-wrenching powerlessness watching someone you love get torn down by a manipulator, or dreamed of the moment the truth hits like a freight train, smash that like button right now. Hit subscribe and ring the bell, because this story of sisterly love, hidden horrors, and justice served cold is going to leave you cheering. Let's dive in. Video title suggestions. 9-year-old destroys wedding dress to save her sister from a monster. The revenge that broke him. He blackmailed my daughter with nudes, then my baby girl's scissors. Changed everything. Thumbnail text suggestions. Kid's revenge saves sister. Dress shredded, abuser shredded. A beat. Tense music fades in. Sound of scissors snipping fabric sharply, mixed with a child's gasp and a woman's sob. Cut to dramatic reenactment. A little girl clutching scissors. Fabric scraps on the floor. A wedding dress in ruins. Hook. 0:00:20. I woke up to my oldest daughter's screams echoing through the house like a nightmare I couldn't shake. Rushing into her room, I found her on the floor, cradling the shredded remains of her dream wedding dress. 6 months of hand-sewn crystals, lace, and love, now just confetti of betrayal. And there, in the next room, my 9-year-old angel Malia sat with scissors still clutched in her tiny fists. "I don't want her to get married," she whispered, eyes wide with a fear that chilled me to the bone. What she told me next? It wasn't jealousy, it was the secret that shattered everything, and unleashed a revenge so sweet it set us all free. Music swells with a heartbeat thump, transitioning to soft, empathetic piano. Screen text, a true Reddit revenge story, buckle up. Intro call to action, 0:20:040. If you've ever felt that gut-wrenching powerlessness watching someone you love get torn down by a manipulator, or dreamed of the moment the truth hits like a freight train, smash that like button right now. Hit subscribe and ring the bell, because this story of sisterly love, hidden horrors, and justice served cold is going to leave you cheering. Let's dive in. Music fades to subtle underscore. Narrator's voice drops to intimate, confiding tone, like sharing a secret over coffee. Full narrative expansion. 0:40:12 card. Picture this. A cozy suburban home, the kind with mismatched throw pillows and family photos lining the walls, snapshots of birthdays, beach trips, my 2 girls, Lee and Malia, arms wrapped around each other like nothing could pull them apart. Lee was 28, my creative firecracker with calloused fingers from years of sketching designs and sewing late into the night. She'd poured her soul into launching a bridal line. And that dress? It was her masterpiece. Ivory silk cascading like a waterfall, every crystal placed by hand under the glow of her desk lamp. Dreaming of the day she'd walk down the aisle and step into her future. Malia, my 9-year-old spark, idolized her big sis. The age gap never mattered. They'd bake cookies at midnight. Malia handing Lee pins for her latest project, chattering about how Sissy will look like a princess. Our home buzzed with that easy sister magic until Wade slithered in. He was Lee's fiancé, the tall, charming type with a smile that lit up rooms and eyes that lingered just a second too long. They met at a design expo. He was in sales, always with a quick compliment, a bouquet just because. At first, it felt like fate. Dinners where he'd toast to Lee's talent, weekends helping her source fabrics. But looking back, God, the signs were there, flickering like warning lights in fog. The way his laugh sharpened when Lee mentioned lunch with coworkers. "Babe, you know they're just jealous of you." The subtle grip on her arm during family photos, fingers pressing white-knuckled. I chalked it up to wedding stress, that mythical beast everyone warns you about. My stomach twisted sometimes, a vague unease like swallowing glass, but I pushed it down. She's happy, I told myself. Let her be. Then came the morning that ripped the veil clean off. It was a crisp Saturday, sunlight slanting through the curtains like it had no idea the hell about to unfold. Lee's sobs yanked me from bed, raw, guttural wails that clawed at my chest. I burst into her room, heart slamming against my ribs, and froze. She was on her knees, fabric pooled around her like a crime scene, scissors bite marks jagged across the bodice, crystals scattered like fallen stars. "Mom, it's ruined," she choked out, fingers tracing the tears as if willing them whole. Her face, oh, that face, pale and hollow, eyes red-rimmed from more than just this moment. I gathered the mess, my hands trembling as silk slipped through my fingers, cool and accusing. "We'll fix it, honey, somehow." But even as I said it, I knew. 6 months of her life snipped to shreds. Rage bubbled hot in my throat, but confusion choked it. Who? Why Malia's room was next door, door ajar. There she sat on her bed, knees drawn up, the fabric shears glinting on her desk like a guilty confession. Her dark curls framed a face too small for the storm in her eyes. "Malia, baby, did you do this?" My voice cracked, a whisper laced with disbelief. She nodded, slow as a confession in church, but her lips sealed shut. No tears, just that haunted stare. The girls were thick as thieves. Malia had cheered Lee through every late-night stitch, even held the hem while Lee beaded the train. This wasn't sibling rivalry. It was sabotage from the inside. I pulled her into my lap, her small body rigid against mine, and rocked her like she was 3 again. "Talk to me, sweetheart." "Why?" Minutes stretched like taffy, thick with silence. Then so quiet, I almost missed it. "I don't want her to get married." Over and over. A mantra, her voice cracking on the edges. Sad about Lee leaving? A new house, less sister time? I probed gently, my heart aching at the thought of our trio fracturing. But she shook her head, fierce, burying her face in my shoulder. The sobs came then. Hot, muffled tremors that soaked my shirt. That afternoon, as Lee numbly tried on a backup dress Wade miraculously produced. Size perfect, style spot on, like he'd been planning for disaster. My unease curdled into something sharper. How, where? He played the knight, all broad shoulders and reassuring hugs, but his eyes flicked to Malia too often, a shadow crossing his face when she wouldn't couldn't meet his gaze. Evening fell heavy, the house echoing with unspoken fractures. Lee was at the hotel with bridesmaids, prepping for tomorrow's ceremony. I sat cross-legged on Malia's bed, fairy lights twinkling mockingly overhead. Are you scared Lee will forget you? No. Jealous of the wedding? Another shake. Desperation clawed at me. My baby's walls were brick, mortared with fear I couldn't name. Then, barely audible, like a secret too big for her chest. Wade is mean to Lee when you're not there. The world tilted. My breath caught, sharp as a slap. Mean how, baby? Tell mommy. She fidgeted with her blanket, twisting the edge until threads frayed. He makes her cry, says not to tell. Shouts when she's sewing, calls it stupid. Grabs her arm hard. Her voice quivered, mimicking a whisper shout. You're mine now, or else. 9 years old, piecing together horrors in halting sentences, her brown eyes pleading for me to fix it. Ice flooded my veins, a mother's primal roar building behind my teeth. Wade? The guy who barbecued with us, who called me mom with that easy grin? Guilt slammed next. How had I missed this? But fury overrode it, a red haze pulsing in my temples. I hugged her fierce, whispering promises I prayed I could keep. You did good telling me. So brave. Inside my mind raced. Protect them. Uncover. End this. While the house slept, I crept into Lee's old room, now a half-packed limbo of boxes and bridal magazines. Her journal lay tucked under the mattress, leather cover worn soft. Heart pounding like a thief's, I flipped it open. The early pages, effervescent sketches, giddy notes on venue flowers. Then midway, the shift. Wade says I'm getting fat. Skipped lunch again. He hates me eating with Rachel, says she's toxic. My dress looks stupid, he says, but I love it. Entry spiraled, ink smudged with what I knew were tears. Isolation from friends, critiques that carved her down, bruises explained as clumsy me. 6 months of a slow poison, turning my vibrant girl into a shadow. Rachel, Lee's ride or die, uninvited from the wedding with some vague scheduling excuse, picked up on the first ring. I've been ghosted, she admitted, voice thick. Wade calls us bad influences. Saw a bruise on her wrist last month. Car door, she said. But her eyes, God, she's fading. My grip whitened on the phone, nails biting palm. Betrayal burned. Wade, you snake, poisoning her world while I smiled at family dinners. Then Malia's iPad glowing innocently on her nightstand. Hidden folders labeled secret. Videos. Shaky people glimpses from behind doors. One from last week, Wade in our kitchen, voice low and venomous while I was at work. That dress? Trash. Wear it and I'll make sure everyone laughs at the fat bride. Lee, voice wobbling but defiant. I worked so hard, he sneered. You care more about rags than me. Then the grab, his hand clamping her arm, yanking her close. Malia's gas, tiny and sharp, cut through the speakers like a knife to my gut. In Malia's notebook, childish scrawl, Lee crying in bathroom, says must marry or bad things, don't want her go. My vision blurred, hot tears tracking down my cheeks. This wasn't a wedding. It was a cage, keys in Wade's smug fist. Fingers flying, I googled him. Pages of sales awards then, buried deep his ex Valerie. Social media ghosts, restraining order filed today. He isolated me, threatened my family, comments flooded, surviving the monster. Scariest escape ever. Chills prickled my skin. This wasn't impulse. This was his script, recycled on my daughter. Phone to my ear, dialing Lee, voicemail. Bridesmaid text, she's with Wade, private talk before pics. Photographer, no show. Panic clawed up my throat, acid sharp. I pinged her location, a seedy motel, 10 miles out. Keys in hand, I flew, tires screeching, heart a war drum. Calls went unanswered until finally her whisper, Mom. I'm scared. Sobs choked her words. He'll post the photos if I don't marry him tonight. Intimate ones. Blackmail for months. I need you. Click. Dead air. When blurred into motion. A dress barked through gritted teeth. The drive? A blur of red lights run, horns blaring distant warnings. Motel parking lot. Wade's car gone. Lee with paramedics. Arms bruised purple. Apologies spilling like blood. He's threatened you and Malia. Said he'd hurt you both if I left. Then, her voice a shard of ice. Showed me a photo of Valerie's little brother. Said he'd do the same to Malia. The world narrowed to a pinhole. Valerie's kid? What horrors had he inflicted? No time. Malia home alone. Engine roared to life. Seatbelt forgotten. Hand slick with sweat on the wheel. Dialing her cell. Rings endless. Voicemail. Bile rose. Visions of Wade's hands on her door. That fake smile twisting cruel. One again. My baby's alone. Abuser en route. Send help. Dispatcher's comm anchored me. Patrol dispatched. Stay online. Red lights lured past. I floored it. Lungs burning. Officer en route. 3 minutes out. Connected. His voice. Knocking. Police. Safe to open. Silence stretched eternal. My knuckles white on the dash. Then Malia's whimper. Scared. Badge number given. Peephole check. Lock clicked. She's safe, ma'am. Unharmed. Footprints in the flower bed. Fresh. Lurking. My exhale. A sob. Neighbor Dawn bolted over on my frantic call. Porch vigil while I raced home. Car door slamming open. Malia launched into my arms, blanket scented and trembling. Heard steps outside. She murmured later. Curled against me. Hid like we practiced. Locked in bathroom till knock. Pride swelled through terror. My fierce girl safety plan etched in her bones. Officer Logan. House clear. Card pressed into my palm. Call if he shows. Hospital next. Lee in bed. Advocate Charity at her side. Short hair. Steady gaze. Paperwork like armor. Blackmail's felony. Threats too. Will file orders. Detective Diana Rearin entered. Suit Chris. Voice steel wrapped kindness. Lee's statement poured out. 6 months of control. Diets enforced. Friends ghosted. Grabs escalating to slaps. Videos from Malia's iPad. Gold. Forensic pickup tomorrow. That night. Family room vigil. Malia fitful beside me. Lee's door a window to her ceiling stare. Breaths ragged. I scribbled timelines. Cramp ignored. Details as bullets in our arsenal. Dawn detectives call. Wade located at Buddy's. En route. Protective order filed with Charity's pen guiding Lee's shaking hand. Home. Locks checked thrice. Security van urgent booked. Jackson collected the iPad gentle as a promise. Wade's apartment empty but leads hot. Phone buzzed. Guests confusion. Lee silenced it. Face ashen. Rachel's call cracked a dam. Worried sick. Their porch talk. Lee's first smile. Text from Wade's smears offered as evidence. Station day. Lee's video statement. Charity's hand in hers. Voice steady through tears. He owned me. Jackson's report. 4 clips of venom. Grabs. Worthlessness whispers. Photo flashes. Solid. Admissible. Prosecutor Lisa Yun. charges stacked. Extortion, assault. Bail tomorrow. Valerie's reply to my outreach. I'll talk. Sorry it happened again. Her statement, school lurks, brother threats. Lee's validation, spine straightening fire. Courthouse. Lisa's argument a blade. 50K bail. GPS, 500 FT no fly. Judge nodded. Granted. Wade slush. Petty satisfaction amid dread. Monitor call installed. Patrols up. Therapy for Lee. Not your fault for staying. Malia's counselor. Code words. Draw journals. Forensics. Photos seized. Unshared. Relief laced with phantom chains. Guest texts drafted. Sent. Dress remnants mourned. Beads salvaged. Phoenix from ash. Wade's drive-bys. Report filed. Boundaries tested. Support group. Strangers echoes. Not judgment. Laptop searches. Control blueprints. Plea floated. Rejected. Trial prep. Job hunt. Boutique hire. Jenny's grace. Seams with Malia. Laughter stitching wounds. Ankle cut. Bail revoked. Jail cell his new cage. Routines loomed. Movies. Pancakes. Beach shells. Valerie coffee. Scars shared. Strength forged. Malia's letter. Protected sissy. Plea redux. Guilty all. Probation bartered. Lee's choice. Closure over cross-exam. Sentencing day. Courtroom thick with allies. Rachel's rip. Valerie's nod. Charity's quiet steel. Wade in orange. Eyes floor-bound as Lee's tumbled. Guilty. Extortion. Threats. Violations. Judge's gavel cracked like thunder. 5 years probation. 200 hours service. Batterers program. Lifetime ban. No contact ever. Therapy costs on him. Breach. 3 years locked. His head snapped up then. First eye contact. Face crumpling from smug to shattered. No words. Just a lawyer's frantic scribble. But I saw it. The mask fracture. Realization crashing like the gavel's echo. Powerless. Exposed. Done. Lee's statement sealed it. Voice a blade through his silence. You stole my light. Threatened my blood. But we rose. Tears. His, not ours. We rose as one. Sunlight hitting Lee's face like absolution. Justice? Not vengeance's fire, but fairness's cool blade. Earned in every tear, every stand. He broke. We mended unbreakable. Karma's quiet work. One girl's scissors, a family's truth, an abuser's empire of lies crumbled. It taught me, we all, that seeking the unspeakable isn't destruction. It's the spark of survival. And sometimes the smallest voice roars loudest. Whew. If Malia's bravery and that courtroom gut punch gave you goosebumps, drop a like and share in the comments. What's the wildest kid saves the day story you've heard? Subscribe for more Reddit revenges that hit right in the feels. Next one's a doozy. Thanks for watching. You're the real MVPs. See you soon.